Wizard101's summer update has sparked quite the controversy within the community around Twitter, in the game, on Discords, on YouTube, on Twitch, pretty much everywhere. And I kind of wanted to talk about that in today's video, just kind of everything that everybody has a problem with, and provide that feedback, obviously, for the developers. Now, I don't want to come off too negative in this video. There were a couple of good changes in this update. We got the name and gender change for players who've been asking for that for years now, which is pretty good. I'm happy for y'all. Personally, I'm not really going to use that. I already deleted my characters and remaxed them and changed their name, so I don't really have to do that. But I'm happy for y'all who did want to do that. Actually, now that I say that out loud, I feel like that's literally the only thing that I feel as a player was good with this update, which is kind of sad, actually. But anyways, getting on into the video here. The first thing I want to talk about is, well, basically just what I said, the casual player's perspective on this whole update. Now, the summer update is supposed to be like the biggest, the baddest, or the second biggest baddest of the yearly updates and stuff like that, right? And I feel like this year, especially for the casual players, man, I feel like they got nothing. I feel like they got nothing. And I guess in a way, the raid is supposed to captivate the PvE audience and like give them content to do. But the thing is, I think the most of your audience, A, doesn't know what a guild or a raid is, and B, it's too hard to even get into the raid, so they can't really access a lot of that content, dude? And I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing a new gold key boss come out pretty soon, stuff like that. I guess we did get Catch of the Day Spellaments and Burning Rampage, but again, that's kind of controversial because I spent 120 keys to learn the spell. Now I have to spend even more keys to re-unlock the spell and then max tier the spell. So I already kind of like my 120 keys back that I had to use to get Catch of the Day and Rampage. That's kind of a feels bad, man, for the players. But that's a whole nother thing too. Completely unscripted for this video, by the way. But, yeah, all they really have for PvE, I feel like, is, well, the gold key fights. And they're not bad, you get Azoth, a lot of Spellments, stuff like that, some rare gear, sometimes here and there. So I guess that's pretty cool, but I feel like that being the only thing you get, aside from one world a year, is really disappointing. Now, again, I'm gonna sound very hard on the devs and KingsIsle in this video, but I do want to be honest about, how I'm feeling and how I see a lot of other players feel in the community, because I see it in my chat, I see it in other people's chat, I see it on Twitter, I see it in game, like in the comments, in freaking, even in like Azteca, for Christ's sake now, dude. I see it everywhere. I just really want to talk about it in this video, but yeah, I think the casuals just aren't getting a lot of content, unfortunately, and to me it's kind of confusing, right? Because the casual Joe is by far the majority of the audience of Wizard101. Right? We all know that, the devs know that. So I feel like, wouldn't you want to make content for them? I'm not saying don't make content for the hardcore players, which is kind of what the raid is, but I feel like a lot of your priorities should be towards the casual player and keeping them interested and invested into the game. But I just don't see that right now. All I see the casual player get is stuff to spend crowns on that you cannot get free to play. So you literally have to pay money, or you get gold keys, which even getting gold keys is a pretty tough thing to do sometimes in general. And I'm somebody who has like marshals on a bunch of characters. I get a lot of gold keys through PvP. Even me, it's pretty hard to get gold keys, and I have access to obviously being a high ranked PvP player where you get a lot. So if I'm saying that, I feel like, again, the PvE audience is gonna have a lot tougher of a time than I do, right guys? So my point here basically is I just think the casuals are getting neglected again with these updates. They pretty much got like a gold key boss, the name and gender change, and that's pretty much it. And we've been waiting like what, 7 months for this kind of update or something. It's just kind of underwhelming is my point here. Next up, I want to talk about the raid itself. Now, first impressions, I really like this raid. My guild is pretty close to getting to the boss fight. As I'm recording this audio right now, we can consistently spawn most of the bosses and defeat them within a run. So that is pretty cool. I'm expecting to probably get that boss fight unlocked and hopefully done by the next week or two, probably. That'd be nice, in my opinion. So, really beautiful raid. I do like that there's a bit more lore in this raid as well, which is pretty cool. I like the innovation they did on it as well, which is pretty cool. But again, a lot of the issue stems back to they're getting 12 players, and mind you, 12 adults for the most part, to get on, stay on consistently for 3 hours, and then know what the hell they're doing. And then on top of that, you have to make the whole raid key, which only 1 or 2 people do typically in a guild. It's never, you know, 12 or all 50 members farming to get a key fast. That's just not what people do right now, so it takes forever to get a key. And then you have to get 12 people, 12 adults on with a life, shit to do, and have them, their time span be for 3 hours, which is just absolutely insane. And I mean, no wonder no freaking casual wants to do the raid. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, most people are on for like 2 hours a day, and a raid is 3 hours, for Christ's sake. Like, god damn, bro. So it's just a huge accessibility issue as well. I do think they made recipes for the Shababa gear, like a pity system, so that is an improvement from the last raid. So, you know, I'll give Kingsock credit for that. We haven't seen that in Live Realm yet. I just saw that leaked on Twitter, but if that does, you know, obviously make it into the next hotfix or update, that is great. Good for them. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be the drops from the new raid. Now, I've heard everything from these are broken drops to these drops are freaking dog water. Now, I'm kind of towards the better side, you know. If 10 was like the drops are amazing and 1 was like they're horrible, I would say probably about a 6, maybe a 7, you know, in terms of the drops being good and desirable. In my video I made talking about the raid gear, I said, you know, as a PvE player, you're gonna definitely want the wand and the new deck. They're pretty good for PvE players, and PvP players and, you know, raiders are gonna want some of that gear in there as well. And unfortunately, these new pets they put out are really, really bad. Like, the last raid, the first one, had some really cool pets, like Storm Null Dragon, Myth Null Dragon. Even the other ones were pretty creative and unique ideas towards like their respected school. But now this raid is everybody has like the same thing, and the item card sucks. So, you know, the pets were at a massive downgrade this raid, unfortunately. And this gear, I guess, is being compared to the new pack gear that came out. And I feel like players feel like if they have pay-to-win pack gear, why should they do the raids, right? Now, obviously, if you don't want to pay to win, you can do the raid and, you know, make it equally good build, if not better. We'll have to see when we get our hands on that, obviously. But, I don't really know. It's weird because a lot of people don't feel like it's worth going through all that effort of learning it and doing it just to get like 1 or 2 things as a PvE perspective. And a lot of the hardcore people do not want to have their time wasted because, you know, it's Wiz and everybody knows how shitty Wiz is right now. Especially if you're a PvP player right now. You just don't want to do more raids and have the game waste your time because you already feel like it's wasting your time and things should be better, you know? So I feel like on both ends of the spectrum, there's a lot of frustration within this update, guys. And I could talk about the whole pay-to-win pack that basically came out. I think was it a bit before the summer update or like with the summer update? That's gonna get its own video. How pay-to-win the past 3 or 4 packs have been. I'll be posting that next on the channel, probably. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about everything I've been hearing in the community in this video, talk about both sides of it and, you know, where I stand with it, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I really hope that some changes can come soon, and I really hope that King's Hall can maybe change their business model, whether that's the crown shop or how they go about updates or how fast they get updates out, stuff like that. I really hope we can see some changes over there at the company and just really collectively see the game be better in the future. And yeah, that's everything for the video, y'all. If you made it this far or I missed anything, let me know down there in the comments below. And I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching. And as always, take care, y'all.